Hello. My name is Andrew Call, and I am the chair of the theater program here at SUNY Oneonta. And I'd like to welcome you to this showcase where we're going to try to explain a little bit about how theater and dance happens here at SUNY Oneonta. As you can see from this mask that I'm wearing, that we're preparing this showcase during COVID times. And we've had to make a lot of adjustments on our campus. We're teaching fully remotely, but we are still teaching the things that matter. We're teaching students about production, we're teaching students about performance, and we are teaching all of the theoretical classes that we would normally teach in person online. That includes performances that are being streamed on the internet, and for as long as COVID-19 continues to be a complication, we will continue to adapt and figure out ways of delivering our program. I want you to be aware that some of what you're going to see in this showcase was actually filmed prior to COVID-19. So you're going to see what typically happened here. We want to show you this because we're hoping that as time goes forward, you're going to be able to look at COVID in the rearview mirror, and we're going to get back to the kind of work that we're used to being able to do. Let me start the showcase by introducing you to Matt, one of my colleagues, who's going to show you a little bit more about the theater facilities and the kinds of places where theater and dance happen on our campus. So, if you want to step into the theater, join me this way.
Hi everybody, my name is Matt GRENIER. I'm the Assistant Technical Director for the Theater Department, and I'm here to give you a quick tour of our theaters and our backstage areas so that you can get a taste of where you might be performing or working if you come to school here. So we're going to start off our tour here in our Goodrich Theater. This is the larger of our two theaters. This is a 500-seat proscenium-style theater. The size of the stage in this theater is very comparable to the size of a Broadway stage. We tend to do our larger scale productions in this theater, so large plays requiring large scenery or large scale musical productions. And speaking of musicals, when we need to create an orchestra pit for our musicians, we actually are able to lower the front part of the stage. So I'm standing on a hydraulic elevator right now that can go down 2 floors into the basement. We can go down 1 floor to create the orchestra pit, or we can go all the way down to our basement storage to bring up scenery and furniture for a show. If you've ever noticed the giant tower on the outside of the Fine Arts Center, you are actually looking at the Goodrich Theater stage fly tower. That tower gives us space to fly scenery, curtains, and lights as high as 60 feet above the stage floor. So now we're exiting the stage right wing of the Goodrich Theater, and we're gonna go check out our scene shop. I'm gonna open up this blast door. This is a sound isolation door that separates the shop from the theater. And it's nice and big so that we can bring scenery through from the shop to the theater. So this is our scene shop. It's basically a general carpentry shop with a paint area. And one thing you may notice about it is it isn't super big. There's not a lot of free space in here. So we don't tend to build all of our scenery in this space. We tend to do all of our prep work in this space, and then it goes right into the theater and it gets assembled on stage so the actors can work with it right away.
Hi, my name is Patrick, and I'm currently playing the role of Ugly in the theater department's production of Honk the Musical, and we are here on the Goodrich stage working on some set stuff for Honk. So my role is the Ugly Duckling, which the story basically follows the Ugly Duckling through all his trials and tribulations. And one of the main reasons the show appealed to me was because it's a children's show, and I really wanted to be part of the playfulness on stage and with the audience and interacting with children. It's a great time. Right here we're stringing together some vines which drop down in this glorious weed curtain that comes down in the show, one of my favorite parts. And we'll go right over here to the eggs. So this is the first day that the eggs have been placed in their nest. Ducklings pop out of the eggs in this amazing scene in the show. It's one of my favorites. And they're fully functional. We have these little tunnels that they go in the back. It's really exciting.
Hi, my name is Kenneth Brooke. I'm a theater and mass communications major, and welcome to the Scene Shop. So we're working on Honk right now, so if we want to just head over to this eyesore sort of thing. It's a chair when you look at it from the front. It's about 9 feet and a few inches tall. It's really huge. One of the biggest things when it came to designing the show was the fact that everything had to be scaled up to the size of the animal. So you have an actor who's 5'4", playing a chick. who's tiny, but you have to make sure that it matches with the size. So that was one of the biggest discussions we had as the production team, was talking about if we wanted to scale up or if we wanted to keep everything the same size. We obviously went with scaling up with this chair. This chair is actually only used for basically one scene. A lot of the things that we built for the show are used in one scene, but they're things that you need for the scenes. So we have one of the other fun challenges, which is actually the net. So there's a scene when the ugly duckling gets trapped in a net from a farmer. And so we talked about how that was going to work, because it needs to get dropped onto him, and having an actor kind of throw it on him looked kind of strange. So they're coming up with a whole cool system where they actually made the net, and it's going to be really interesting. The whole thought of theater and the fact that you start off with a blank canvas, but your end goal is creating a whole new world. And I feel like that's one of the most important things about it, is just being able to take people to another world that, you know, even if it's just for 2 hours, it takes them out of the real world and gives them some time to relax and enjoy.
Now we're going to take a look at the Hamlin Theater, which is the smaller of our 2 theater spaces. It seats about 100 people, and it's what you would typically call a black box or a studio theater. So it comes in very handy for doing smaller scale productions where you really want the audience to be close to the actors. So it creates a more intimate environment for the show that you're doing. The really great thing about this type of theater is that you can, it's a flexible space, so you can remove the audience risers, the balcony, you can change the seats around, and that allows us to create a variety of different non-traditional configurations, non-proscenium configurations, that so students will have a chance to work in those different environments while they're here. So this is one of our green room areas. This is where the actors hang out before and during a show. You'll notice we have a TV monitor with a camera feed to our stage, so the actors always know where we are during the show. And now we're going to go down and check out our dressing room and our costume shop real quick. So here we are in our makeup studio. This room has 22 lit stations for actors to put on their makeup and generally get ready for the show, and just kind of hang out and get in the zone for the show they're about to perform. Right across from our makeup studio is our costume shop, where all of the costumes are made for the show. One thing you'll notice when you come in the door here is we have a bulletin board where our designers' drawings go up on the wall, so that lets everybody in the shop know what it is that we're building for the show. As we come into the room here, you'll notice we have a variety of different stations. We have cutting tables so that fabric can be cut. We've got lots of sewing stations, serging stations. We have ironing stations. There's a fitting area so students can try on their costumes for the first time, make sure everything fits right. And then we also have laundry facilities down here so that all the costumes can be laundered after every production. So this is just generally where all the magic of creating our costumes for our shows happens. So that's going to be the last stop on the tour with me. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to send you up to my colleague Scott, who's in the light booth.
Hi, my name is Scott Segar. I'm the Technical Director for the Department of Theater. We are currently sitting in the control booth for the Goodrich Theater. This is the place where our stage manager and our technicians, sound and light operators, and follow spot operators would be during a production. The stage manager tells all of our technicians when to execute sound and lights, and then our technicians sit at their consoles. For example, this is our lighting console, and our light board operator would sit here and execute the cues that a lighting designer has put in place. And then on the opposite side of the booth, we have our sound console. So our sound operator would be running all of the microphones for a musical and playing sound effects for our different plays. All of our operators and stage managers are students, so there's plenty of opportunities for our students to get involved in the booth as well as backstage. Students have the opportunity to design a faculty-directed show once they've gone through enough training. So we've had several lighting designers for our faculty-directed shows. We've had some scenic designers and costume designers and lots of sound designers. So whenever possible, we like to include students in every aspect as much as possible. In addition to the department shows that we produce every year, there's a theater club called Mask and Hammer, and they also produce plays, and those are completely student-run, student-directed, student-designed, student-operated, and those take place in the Hamlin Theater. In addition to the work I do in the theater department, I am also the faculty advisor for the Terpsichorean Dance Company, which is one of the student dance clubs on campus. There's usually about 100 dancers involved, and every semester they produce a full dance concert of about 18 to 20 dances, ranging in styles from jazz, lyrical, contemporary, hip-hop, step, anything that you can think of as a choreographer. That company is happy to produce. So one of the things I've always really appreciated about Terpsichorean dance is the wide variety of styles that the students always come up with for every show. One of the more popular styles in recent times has been the inception of a step team. So it's been several years, and we've had lots of different step performances. And here's one for you right now.
So that's it. Theater and dance here at SUNY Oneonta. As you can see, we're improvising a little bit right now and making things ready to work online for our streaming productions. We look forward to having you here as soon as you can come back and safely join us on campus. In the meantime, stay safe, stay well. We'll see you soon.